just like that, we found another one. So put a bait on that. And since it's not even heated up all the way, we'll mark it for today. So guys, so I'm gonna do a little experiment, and well, I want to hatch some turkey eggs, and we're not getting like a mass production every day. So what I'm gonna do is, this incubator is great. I've hatched a lot of birds in it. You can get it at Tractor Supply. You can probably get it on Amazon. It's called Nurture Right 360. And there's another, the company that actually makes it, you'd have to Google it, but it's a little dusty, but it's all clean on the inside. But their customer service is great. I'll tell you, I lost this, and this vent cover, it covers one of these, so you're just gonna fill one side for the first 21 days with water, or the first 18 days if you're doing chicken eggs, with water, and then the last 3 days you do put them on lockdown. You got to remove this tray, you can unplug the egg turner, and you fill both up. Now, by not having this cover, it really messes with the airflow, so it'll mess with your humidity, and so it's pretty important. You can try to cover it up with something else. I've used, I think, cotton before, and it was pretty simple. I called them and they literally just said, okay, we're gonna send you one, and came in the mail a week later, or within a week maybe. So we're only finding like 1 turkey egg a day, 2 sometimes. So what we're gonna do is, and I broke one, we have 4 hens, and they're just, we don't know where they're laying all the time. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm marking these ones for today, March 7th, and that way when these need to be, I think it's 28 days to hatch, so at 25 days we will pull these off, and I should have a big incubator down here. It's a double stack. It has egg turners in it. I mean, it'll hold quail eggs, duck egg, chicken eggs, and it's got a fan to regulate the airflow, but I'm not a fan of it. It's in Celsius, it's Chinese. I'm not a fan of it. It doesn't hold the humidity very well, but what we're doing today is, I'm just gonna use this as a hatching box, and I'm gonna throw a wet sponge in it, and that's it, I think. So for now, we're not gonna use water. We're just gonna do a dry hatch. And I've seen a lot of people, including the guy that convinced me to buy this at Tractor Supply, he swears by it. So we're gonna do a dry hatch. I saw a side-by-side using the same incubator on YouTube, and they did one with water, one without. The dry hatch all hatched on the same exact day. Like, he went up and they were all hatched. And I think all that he put on lockdown, but 2 hatched. And I think it was a better hatch ratio than the wet. So that's what we're gonna do. This thing will get up to a 99.5, and we're gonna leave it at, the temperature is probably gonna hang around 20. It's really dry here in the desert. We got this insulated room, drywalled room. It actually stays really cool in here. We're already getting the 80s, upper 80s down here. So what I'm gonna do is, this is in my shop. It's in the car. We got this styrofoam window to keep the air out. What we're gonna do is, we're gonna keep these in this room, and because we don't want to keep it in the garage or something, and then it get too hot in there, because this thing will heat up, but it won't cool down. So that's what we're gonna do. I guess we just leave this all the way open, this vent. I will watch another YouTube video and get on this right now, but that's what we're doing, guys. We're gonna put this on, let it do its thing, and then 25-day mark, we will, so next month, we will pull these ones off and put them in that box. that will be plugged in and heated up. And I'm not sure if we're gonna use a sponge or not. I can't remember if they did, so I'll watch another video, but we got time. And then tomorrow I'll actually add some eggs. I'll add what I find, turkey eggs only, and we will mark those again. So I will, every day I'll probably be adding an egg or 2 or 3 hopefully, and eventually in a month or 25 days I'll be taking a bunch out, and then every day after that just removing until, you know, we'll see if we're successful at this, and then we'll keep a couple and probably sell as many as we can if they hatch. So stick with me, we'll give an update, and the update will be maybe tomorrow we'll add some eggs. Otherwise we'll see you guys on day 25 when we get this other one set up. Quick little thing, so basically you hold this menu button. This is going to climb to 99.5. You can actually set it to, I think. You hold this 3 seconds and it's going to pop up your temperature first, all right, and then your days, and actually you can adjust them. So obviously a duck egg you would put at 18. I mean, I would, and then you can always add, and then it'll go negative. But that's what you do, and then you just keep kind of adding a day. And we'll do this again. Make sure we put it on 25. And it's just kind of like, I'll have it written down in a calendar, but see how you can change that. It'll keep, and it'll stay on. It won't automatically shut off or anything. It's just kind of you going over here, pushing that. Okay, I got 25 days left to, I need to take some eggs out. All right. And then this is going to show your humidity. Basically, you add water, and there's a little tray in there. Underneath that tray, there's some area that will hold water, and then this is how you kind of control it. And we're just going to leave it wide open, I think. And then if you had water in there, you would see this starting to fog up once the heat kicks in. And then the egg turner, I think it turns every 2 hours, but to test it, gotta make sure you plug it in the right one. You push both of these plus and minus together, and you'll see that it just turns it. And unlike a lot of incubators, these ones you lay the egg down, supposedly you put the pointy end towards the center instead of the pointy end down like this one would be. And I'll tell you what, this incubator is awesome. The only thing I don't like about it is, it'd be awesome if it was bigger, but it does hold 22 eggs. And the other thing is, I wish that this plastic piece, like if you wanted to use it to hatch your, keep your birds in here on lockdown, your eggs in here, and then they hatch and you want to pull them out every now and then or clean it out, this top piece comes off with this. So which means that when you pull this off and this tray is out, you're pulling it off, and like an egg can roll out because there's no lip here. An egg could roll out, or a chick could get out, and if you want to hurry up and keep the chicks in to dry, and you put this back over it, what's going to happen is sometimes the chicks will go to the edge, and you got to watch out and make sure you don't pinch their feet and stuff like that. So that's the only thing, is I kind of wish that, I mean, it makes it easier to clean, but I kind of wish that this had a lip, whether it be this plastic piece just raised up a little bit, or this top piece removed only, and this clear plastic stayed down on the bottom and didn't come off. Or if it was removable, it would come off in 3 pieces. That's the only thing I don't like about it. Other than that, this thing is awesome. It hasn't let me down, and as long as you handle your eggs carefully, don't bang them around, keep them stored where, you know, I keep them pointy end down in the carton, and just be gentle moving them around, and that's it. I didn't wash these ones at all. These came out like they are, and I didn't wash any of them. So I know some people will dip them or whatever in a solution. I don't do it. I might rub some eggs if they have something on there that's dried, but for the most part, I don't do anything with peroxide or whatever it is some people use. I just won't use that egg if it's extremely dirty. But I mean, if it's gonna hatch, it's gonna hatch. I think some of this stuff is just, you just gotta try it. I mean, you're never gonna hatch 100%. I just don't. I haven't had it happen. But we're gonna see what happens with these guys, and hopefully we'll get some new turkeys. All 10 of them, I just put a light to them, candled them. They're all developing. I have it as 4 days. We're closing in on 3 days, so I'm probably a little off. So I'm just gonna put them in for 3 days. Lock them. Had them all pretty evenly gapped, and I just looked over, and this one right here already moved. So he's already rolling around in there. So I held them all up to the light. And thought I heard some people already. So we have 7 that hatched a few days ago. And all 10 of these ones, the remaining 10. I actually wasn't sure about this one, but I looked again and it's moving around in there. I can see it through the light. You see I put these in on the 12th of March, and it is now 7th maybe? 6th or 7th of April. I gotta look. But I have 4 hens, and if they're laying 1 egg a day, if we're lucky, you can see I have 10. It took me a minute to gather all these, so I feel like these eggs can go longer than people normally wait to incubate. People try to get them in there within a week. A couple of these might be older than a week, and they're still developed really well. So I can't say enough about this incubator. It's not very big, but without any water, I didn't use any water for all of these turkey eggs, and it does a great job. And naturally the humidity was between about 12 and 17% here, and we're in the desert, no water. I filled up the water channels in this, and I actually threw a sponge in there as well. The last 3 days I just try to get the humidity as high as I can, and you can see it's kind of already fogging up. And we're still climbing because I just closed this, so we're gonna go up to 36.5 or 37.5. I got a Celsius, and then the humidity is also raising. And we'll leave them in there like that until they hatch. I got 4 days, but I think they're gonna hatch in 3. So we'll open this up every morning. I'll come out and I'll soak that sponge with some more water. So I'll just lift the back end of it up and then I'll pour a little bit of water on that sponge, and that should keep that humidity up. Might do it a couple times a day. Don't want to overfill these because they got little holes right here and they'll just leak out. So I just fill it. You can see that bottom part goes down. That's just the channel right there. Turkeys were just hatched. All 7 that hatched out of 8. 7 out of 8 eggs. are doing well. And I know this is a different day. You can see the wings already developing. And we're talking a couple days. So give them some water, add a little bit of electrolyte, not much. And then there's some food, which they're probably eating just a little bit. And I use this, I don't use this lamp. The first day we did, but it was just too hot. We use this plate right here. You can adjust it. And they're doing really well. One didn't seem as strong as the other ones, but what I do is I grab a little container, or you could even use a water, another one of these quail waters, and I crack an egg or two, and that's what I'll put in there, the egg yolk and white, and I dip all their beaks in it. With chickens, I won't dip a beak, but with these guys, they're real sensitive. I'll dip their beaks, they're pretty curious. And I feel that yolk is beneficial to them. I think it gives them a little bit of a boost. We got enough eggs laying around this property that anywhere you look, you can find them. These are the free range birds we have out. They're just laying wherever, but there's two of them that always lay here, and then I got the turkey. She always lays her one egg here. So I'll have to get in there and get that within the next hour. I'll use this to block her head from biting me, because she started to go after me now. She don't like taking her egg, but I don't want her to get broody, so I take the egg, and then she'll always come back in the morning as soon as we open the door up. And they're free range, so I can't, we're using those eggs, and we don't want to lose them, so every egg so far, hopefully we find them all, including one in the neighbor's yard that changes every day. But they're all doing well. They know where the heat is and the food and the water. And I use actually a chicken egg for these guys, the yolk. I think with the chickens we use duck eggs we found. It just gives them a little boost with protein. Gia likes them. Rip likes them. So we're thinking we put 10 in there. We had 8 eggs in there, 7 hatched. It's a pretty good ratio. It's 85, 86%. It's really good. Anything over 50 I think is good. 50% is good, some people. And we put 10 in there right now for lockdown, so 3 days they're gonna hatch, or earlier. There's so many variables with it. I mean, how long was it sitting in the sun, or was she sitting on it before you grabbed the egg? Could that count as an incubation day? Was it the last egg? I mean, one could hatch a day early. That one already kind of moved around. Within the next day, you'll pick them up to your ear and you'll hear them in there moving. You'll hear their beak scraping, and you're gonna hear them actually making noise, peeping. So that's a good sign. They look pretty well developed. One, not as much as the rest, but he's moving in there. And I have a feeling we're gonna hatch at least 9 out of 10. So we're gonna shoot for 90%. And if we get 100%, that's gonna be awesome. And yeah, we're selling them. We're gonna keep a couple hens. And we're selling the actual poults, and we're also selling the eggs. So it gives us a little bit of a small income. Probably doesn't cover everything like feed or nothing, but it's fun to raise them up. And with turkeys, you got to get them raised up. Then that first 3 weeks is real crucial to them. They get pretty sensitive. I normally will when we raise these our big turkeys, we actually raise them with chicks. So they are in there with chicks, and I want to say we had a few ducks in there. So we normally will raise them with other breeds, other species, and I just feel like they get more acclimated to them. So when we let them go out on the property, it's no shocker. Nobody's pecking at anybody, and the only two fighting in this property are the two toms right now, and we're trying to actually get rid of one of them, sell one of them. So I think I got all the chores done. We're trying to do the garden. I got to work today though, and then we have some fencing I have to do around the house, and then I want to put up some electrical strands up for the back so I can let the cow and the couple goats back there. We have a bunch of grass growing up way in the back, some weeds, let them have at it, and then probably split off that back into two sections, 2 or 3, and that way we can kind of move animals around where we need them. And yeah, that one's getting that water, and they see one do it and the other one comes in. They're real curious. These ones actually, let me see if they'll do. With turkeys, they just come to you, they flock to you. See, they're just pecking my ring. With chicks, not so much. And unless you're spending a lot of time with them. We don't spend a lot of time with these turkeys. Honestly, we just check on them, but we don't sit out here for hours or nothing. We don't have any names for any of our birds whatsoever. And we have, I don't even know how many. But yeah, they're very, very curious, easy to pick up. They don't run from you. And the way to tell if they're male or female, I always look at the heads. Just compare them. His head's a little broader. I'm gonna say we have mostly, and then they got a little snood, a little dot. You see his is popping, and then there's one in here that's not, something like that one right there, I think it's a hen. You just never know. They'll actually start strutting around at a real early age too. So the difference with these guys is getting them some high protein food. This isn't the highest protein food I could find. Well, it's the highest protein food that I could find, which is only 20%. You want to get them at 25 to 30%, and that's really going to help them develop their feathers and all that. And they're already growing pretty quick, but I gave them that egg. I think that egg really helps them.